Okay, good afternoon. So today we will continue from last week for cost of capital. And please turn to page number 6, case 1, Winter Soldier. As I just asked you from last time that we are going to calculate cost of debt, cost of preferred share, and cost of common share. Okay. Now, let me briefly talk about the data that you are given here in this case. So on this case, you can see that this company, Winter Soldier, has the following data. The first part that you can see here, the first bullet point or the red letters data here, okay, they are the data regarding bonds. So this is the data that after this, you are going to compute cost of debt. And for here, you may notice that the firm will be able to issue 3 lots of debt or 3 lots of bond. Okay, the first lot like this, 500 baht per bond, issuing size 500 bonds, coupon rate 8.5%, and the flotation cost of the selling price 5% of the selling price. Okay, so for this case, you are not going to get only one cost of debt or one KD. You are going to get 3 KD. So you can name it KD1, KD2, KD3. Okay. Now, the issuing size 500 bonds here, okay, please do not use it yet, okay? Because when we calculate cost of debt, cost of preferred share, or cost of common share, we calculate based on just one security, like one bond or one share. Okay, so for the data of issuing size, do not use it yet. We are going to talk about this part of information later on. Now, the second part, okay, the next 2 bullet points, okay, you are going to see the data regarding the preferred share. So for these 2 bullet points, you are going to calculate cost of preferred shares. And you are going to have 2 preferred shares, 2 cost of preferred shares. So you may name it KP1 and KP2 here, okay? After that, the next part here, this is the data for common share. 3 bullet points here, the green letters here, okay? So you are going to calculate cost of retained earning and cost of new common share from these 3 bullet points, okay? The last part, last bullet point here, for the capital structure, wage of debt equal to 30% or WD 30%, you are given right away. For preferred share, 20%, this is WP 20%. And cost of equity, WE for 50%, tax rate 40%, which you are going to use it later on, okay? So now, from this data, let me insist you that please calculate per one share or per one bond, okay? Please disregard the data that talk about 500 bonds or 10,000 shares or 20,000 shares, okay? You are not going to use those data meanwhile, okay? So let me switch to this one. Okay. Right away, the data that you have, okay, wage of debt, right, which equal to 30%, wage of preferred share 20%, and wage of equity 50%, okay? So you are given 3 of this. Now, the cost of debt that you need to calculate cost of debt, and there are 3 costs of debt. 2 cost of preferred share, cost of common equity. Remember, KS is cost of retained earning. KE, cost of new common share. Okay, so you have that. So take your time to calculate all of that, and we will continue after you calculate all the answers there. So take your time. In case you have any question, please feel free to ask. Is it okay? This is how you write down the equation to calculate cost of debt for lot number one. And from here, the next row, right? You just calculate it and answer me what is the cost of debt per year. You may check the answers that I show you here. Okay. You must get them one by one until you get cost of equity too.